You're watching Sports Beat, brought to you by Ken Garff. We hear you.
And hi there once again, everybody. Welcome to our college football preview special. The Utah Utes, former Ute quarterback and current radio broadcaster Frank Dolce aboard to give us your expert analysis.
Yeah, camp begins on August 4th, Monday. So in the next half hour, we'll hear what coaches and players around the Pac-12 think of the Utes. Plus Kyle Whittingham, Trez Anderson, and Nate Orchard share their thoughts on both sides of the ball. But we'll start with the big story of the offseason, the health of Travis Wilson. Last November, it was feared his football career may be over. Now cleared to play, he has teammates and coaches raving about just how healthy he is.
It's that guy eating during the offseason. He looks like a freak.
Have you seen him?
Yes.
What is he eating? What is
I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
He came back looking like Hercules. I'm like, yeah, he need to be here right now on stage 4, wherever. Like, put him on the set. Nah, that guy is jacked right now. He's ready to do his thing. He's hungry too.
25-20, he's gonna go.
Now that he can play, is he the guy going into the fall?
He's the guy going in, but he's going to be pushed. We have several of our quarterbacks in the program already made progress through spring. Connor Manning, Brandon Cox, Adam Schultz made himself a better player through spring. We've added Kendall Thompson, who is transferred from Oklahoma, immediately eligible due to the graduation rule that's in place, and so he's going to get a lot of looks early on in camp. We've got to find out what he's all about and what his capabilities are, and should be a very good competition.
Wilson to pass, back of the end zone, caught. It's a touchdown for Trez Anderson.
It's great, man. Just having Travis around is good. He's the captain of our team. Just having him healthy, you know, we're just happy for him. And he loves the game of football, you know. I couldn't even imagine having the game stripped from me. I wouldn't know what to think. So just having him back on the field and around us, it's been very beneficial.
So Travis Frank looks like Hercules. He's very healthy. Now, if he stays healthy throughout the entire season, what kind of season do you expect him to have?
Well, Travis is an interesting guy. I think he's a guy with all of the tools in terms of arm strength and the ability to read defenses and make things happen. Even, you know, he's probably not the runner we thought he might be, but he's definitely has that athletic ability. I think he has to step up in a couple different ways. One is he has to handle pressure a little bit better. That's where he had his downfall, I think, last year, is just managing pressure. And then when that happened, the interceptions and the mistakes started to turn around. Getting rid of the ball a little bit quicker is going to be a thing that he needs to work on. So he's a guy with all of the ability to kind of reach that elite level in the Pac-12. He needs to take a couple more steps.
He had a lot of tip balls at the line for interceptions a year ago. He's 6'5", 6'6". How does he get over that? Because there should be no way he should have tip balls at the line.
Well, you know, Bernie Kosar was a guy that had this low release point too, and Travis suffers that a little bit. He never really developed this over-the-top kind of release point. And if you watch him throw, the ball comes out right near his helmet. So it makes a 6'7" guy throw the ball more like a 6'2", 6'1" kind of guy. So until he changes that, which he's not going to at this point in career, he's probably going to suffer some of those batted balls.
Assuming we go with Travis Wilson, he's the starter, he's the guy. But if he gets injured, or are there any other players that are going to really push him? Kendall Thompson from Oklahoma, everybody's excited about him. But we have no idea what he's going to do.
Kendall's going to get a lot of reps this fall. He's going to get plenty of reps. He's going to be given every opportunity to compete for the starting job, and we'll just see what he does. He's a smaller guy, six foot kind of guy, 195 pounds, very athletic. We don't see a lot of him throwing the ball on film, so it's hard to tell what kind of release he has, how he throws the ball. I like the guys that are back. Schultz is a guy that, you know, he's kind of a dark horse. He has a lot of playing experience. He needs to take a couple more steps. And then, of course, Connor Manning. I mean, I think that's a guy with a lot of potential. But into fall camp, you just can't give all those guys reps. I think we're going to see Travis Wilson. I think we're going to see Kendall get all of the reps in the fall and see who comes out on top.
You think this team has really rallied around Travis as a leader and he's earned their respect because of what he's been through?
It's not just what he's been through, but he's kind of the guy that in the locker room, people just like him. People get along with him. He's a leader, and people follow him. You see how Trez Anderson talks about him. He's a guy that people follow, so he has that skill and that knack.
All right, well, Utah ranked 11th in the Pac-12 in total offense last season. Kyle Whittingham called on an old friend to help him change that. Dave Christensen will bring an even faster tempo to the offense and take advantage of the talent that he has returning.
What are we going to see from this offense this year?
Just us being explosive. high tempo.
Dres Anderson making the adjustment and the catch. And Dres Anderson into the end zone.
Starts with getting Dres Anderson back, the leading receiver in the Pac-12, returning. 1,000-yard receiver, nearly 19 yards of reception, a big play guy. We've got to get a supporting cast around him at receiver to take some of the pressure off him. You know, Scotty and Kalen Clay, some of these other guys have got to really step up and be factors for us, which will only help Dres even more. Offensive line should be solid, got a lot of returners there. Running back, we've added Devontae Booker and Troy McCormick, who redshirted last year with Bubba Poole. So we feel like we've got all the parts. Wesley Tonga at tight end should be a weapon for us. It's just got to come together. And above all else, whoever the quarterback ends up being has got to stay healthy from start to finish.
In practice, we have no type of rest. So the up-tempo offense, we've had that in the past, but it really hasn't been so up-tempo. We could tell Christensen he's not going to have, like, okay, we're going to do this now, but when it comes to game time, okay, it's going to be slow or whatever. He's going to make sure we're up to speed, and we're one of the fastest offenses in the pack.
Bottom line, we're grateful that Dave is in our program and running the offense. Spring ball, if that's any indication of things to come, we're very pleased with what happened in spring. It's not a wholesale change. There's no philosophy or schematic major changes. We're still a spread offense. Just going to pick the tempo up and add some elements that Dave has brought, which hopefully will make us better.
A lot of yak this year.
A lot of yak. Your boy got to get that yak. I'm trying to catch it and get loose.
Oh, he's going to get a lot of yak, he says. I mean,
yeah, Dres Anderson, of course, he's the leader coming back. Does he have to get more consistent? Big play guy, but he had a few drop balls, which he should have had last year.
Yeah, he's certainly the star in the receiving corps, and he has to play like a star every single down. And he's had kind of a little bit of a roller coaster. When he's on, he's fantastic, and when he's off, he's dropping balls that he should catch regularly. So he has to take a step forward as well.
And Kenneth Scott, after the first couple of minutes of the Utah State game last year, missed the season. He's back, and boy, those two on each side, or in the Twins position, that's a dynamic duo right there.
Absolutely. You need another guy, and Utah didn't have it last year. Dres got a lot of attention because of that. So Kenneth Scott coming back is going to be huge. I think the tight end position is going to be big for Dres and for the outside guys. And Wesley Tonga looks like he has all the ability in the world. So could be a real weapon at the tight end as well.
Based on what you saw in spring, what impact can Dave Christensen have on this offense, and can you get this offense to perform at a higher level?
Yeah, I think the talent is there on the offensive side. The offensive line probably struggled a little bit last year, more than we thought they would, especially in kind of the tackle positions. I think those have been shored up. Although we had some talent outside, we had some talent at the running back position, there was just too much inconsistency at the quarterback position. So, you know, all this talk about where Utah offensively is going to be in the coordinators, it starts with the guy calling the signals, the guy taking the snaps, and if that guy can stay healthy throughout a season, it's going to make a world of difference. And I think what the tweaks that Christensen is making is really going to help this offense in terms of speed, splits, widening the field, spreading out the defense.
And what is the role of the running back in this Dave Christensen offense? You got Bubba Poole and Booker coming back. Is it going to be I guess a running back by committee, no stars?
I think so. Unless one of those guys in the first couple games really separates himself, I think we're going to see a lot of Poole, a lot of Booker, probably in the backfield at the same time, and then shifting out of that formation. And then look out for McCormick. McCormick is a speedster. That's a guy that has that next gear, and he's not an every down kind of guy, but if he gets to the outside, if he gets loose through the middle, he can take it all the way.
1,000-yard rusher?
It's hard by committee.
Okay.
So I don't necessarily see a 1,000-yard rusher, but certainly a 1,000-yard combined effort.
Okay, well, after missing out on a bowl game the last 2 seasons, no question what the goal is for this year, to play in December, or even better, January.
Just overall expectations. What are your expectations?
Well, we got to get back to a bowl game. That's we've been 1 game short of that the last 2 years.
Not going to a bowl game the last 2 years has been frustrating as a team and individually, because we work so hard, and not being able to make it to a bowl game is frustrating.
You could pick us 5th or whatever. It's okay. When we get on that field, it doesn't mean anything.
At the goal line, it's a touchdown!
Everybody always talks down on us, so they sleep on us, and we've done great things in our history. I mean, like our game last year against Stanford.
Over the middle, thrown incomplete. It's incomplete. It's incomplete.
I don't know what the odds were that we beat them, but you know what happened, and we're And we're happy that that happened to show like we can't hang with the big dogs of this conference, but we have to make sure that we're consistent with it.
The two main things for us this year: keep the quarterback healthy, be better finishers. We can't take a 2-touchdown lead in the Arizona State game and let it get away from us, lose an overtime game to Oregon State, have UCLA on the ropes and not be able to make a play at the end there to get that game. And so that'll be the emphasis, is being better finishers and then keeping that quarterback healthy.
They're motivated. You know, we want to win. It's frustrating being talked down and being at the bottom where we shouldn't be. And so guys want to come out and prove the world wrong.
And for you and other seniors, what would it mean to go out with a bang this year and take Utah to the next level in this conference?
Oh, it mean the world. To set that stage, people know who we are and what we're capable of. It needs to be known and it needs to be said, and it'll be done.
Now, Frank Kyle laid it out on the line: keep the quarterback healthy and finish games. If they had had that last year, they would have been to a bowl game. Will they do it this year?
They certainly have they have all the pieces in place to do it this year. And I think even though we've all seen the schedule, it's extremely difficult, But I think there are definitely 6 wins in that schedule, and I like this football team. Last year I said there weren't enough Trevor Rileys on the field. We had one Trevor Riley. We needed about 5 or 6 of those guys on the field, and I think in a lot of ways, with Nate Orchard coming back, with Hunter Dimmick, with Jason Whittingham coming back, Brian Blecken coming back, Eric Rowe moving around a little bit, I think they have kind of that 5 or 6 Trevor Riley personality on the field. They need one of those guys to really become the monster on the defensive side.
And we're going to get your opinion on that because we've talked about the offense. So now what about the defense?
On 3rd down, Hogan hit, fumbles.
All right, Frank, you will break down the Utah D. Where's the strength and what's the main concern, and also who's going to be the star? We're going to put you on the spot.
Welcome back to our 2014 Utah football preview. While the offense has struggled, the Utes defense has remained consistent, 5th in the Pac-12 in total defense last year. There's one thing they hope to improve on that they believe can make a huge difference this fall.
What are we going to see from the Utah defense this year?
Oh, we're going to have a lot of turnovers, that's for sure.
Steps up, now he's dropped, ball's out, Orchard's got it.
You know, it's been frustrating not having that last year and the year before, and so we need to get back to where we're making plays and scoring on defense.
If you look at who wins the Pac-12, most years it's the team with the best turnover margin. That's something that we've got to really focus on.
You guys going to get after the quarterback?
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
He's going to be dropped. Stepping up and he's sacked and he'll be sacked.
We've been good at defensive line for many years, 10+ years in a row. We don't expect this year to be any different. Nate Orchard's our headliner up front. Need a big year out of Nate. Linebackers, getting Johnny Paul on the field for us this year will help. And the secondary is, 1 year more experienced, 1 year more knowledgeable, and we need to get better production back there, which we think we will.
Oh, we have so many assets, so many new guys coming in. We're stacked at every position. We have more than 7+ at every position. Guys are ready to go, even freshmen looking great. Ready to come in and compete for a starting job. Looking for our secondary to do a really good job this year. Tevin Carter, get him at safety. He's back from his injury. Most likely move Ero to corner. There's a lot of switches we'll be doing on defense, but regardless of whoever's playing where, guys will definitely be coming out and ready to compete and win games.
Frank, Nate Orchard said it right there. We got to get a lot of turnovers. They haven't been able to do that the last couple of years, and that's not like a Kyle Whittingham defense. The coaches pretty much on defense been the same. What's going on here, and how do they change it this year, and will they?
Well, it's the most important stat in football, the turnover margin. I look at 3rd down conversions, I look at running game, the ability to, control the line of scrimmage or get out of drives. But turnover margin always seems to, rarely if you lose that battle do you win the game. So it's a big part of it. I think that the problem is Utah's scheme and talent level has kind of stayed the same, but the talent level and the schemes on the other side of the ball have changed dramatically. So you're now going against, week after week, some of the top offenses in the country, and you're just not going to, turnovers just don't happen that regularly. Still, Utah has to figure out a way to get back to that. It starts with their front 4, and then most of all their front 7. And I just don't think they've been as good at that position the last couple of years, the front 7 especially. The defensive line that dominates the line of scrimmage and linebackers that kind of get after the ball.
Well, this conference, I mean, sorry, the conference features some of the best quarterbacks in the country, even better than last year, perhaps. You mentioned the front seven. They haven't been up to par maybe as much as they were in the past. Are they better prepared this year for the challenge?
I think they are. I think they're better prepared. And I think now a couple years, 3 years into the Pac-12, they know what they face week in and week out. I think that experience is going to go a long way. But the truth is Utah's going to have to be able to pressure quarterbacks with their front four, maybe coming with a little bit of extra help every once and again. You can't get into a situation where you have to send a lot of people all the time because it just strains everybody else. So front four, front seven is going to be really important.
Nate Orchard, see the guy that is the key to this whole thing?
I love Nate Orchard. Since he's walked on campus, I thought that he had that star quality and the star ability. He certainly has the athletic ability, the talent. And at times, he shows these glimpses of, you know, this unbelievable Clowney-like kind of production. Well, he's the guy that I think needs to be the every down, you know, just destroying things at the line of scrimmage. Yes, absolutely. Nate, since you sent me that question, I've been mulling over, but Nate is my guy, and I'd love to see number 8 really wreak some havoc on the defensive side.
We'll see if we can get it done. Well, this will be Utah's 4th season in the Pac-12. The wins haven't come easy, but win or lose, the Utes have left an impression on the teams they've faced in the conference and earned respect from their peers.
I'm going to say Utah Utes. What do you think of?
Tough.
Tough.
Well, tough physical team.
Got a man complete there. Jalen Strong is drilled.
They're tough, man.
Tougher than many people think.
Play extremely hard.
I'd say one of the most physical teams in the Pac-12 are always the Utah Utes. So you better come with your lunch pail when you're playing Utah.
Extremely well coached.
Well coached, disciplined, guys that play hard.
Defensively, I think they were one of the best opponents that we faced last year.
Their record might not show in the conference, but you watch them on film, and they played everyone very tough.
Think of a well-coached football team. Think of a great fan base.
I think of a crazy stadium, jam-packed, a lot of energy. It's crazy to play up there.
I think of a bunch of passionate stadium in red, great fan base.
Playing at Utah is a tough place to play, and you know, this can be an awesome venue to play in, and we're really looking forward to it.
We know we'll be welcomed appropriately.
I remember 2 years ago when I went there, how loud it was, man. That place, it's really cool to see, you know, how, you know, they get up for a game and they get real excited.
It was wild, but actually it was probably one of the funnest games I've had in my career.
It's a fun atmosphere. I love going down there and playing that atmosphere, and you know, you can't look past Utah.
I don't count them out the South at all.
They're going to be around. They've definitely made a statement in the conference, and they're going to be very competitive.
All right, Frank, as you watch that, do you believe they have a lot of respect for the Utes, or are they kind of patting them on the top of the head, saying, you know, they're tough?
I don't know people who go into the swamp and say it's really a fun atmosphere. Yeah. I like playing.
I did not hear anyone say they were loaded with talent.
I think that, you know, they were kind of. Utah hasn't made its mark in the Pac-12. I mean, just look at the record, and it is what it is. I think anyone starting with Kyle Whittingham would tell you that it is what it is. And we've had our chances. I think we've become more consistent over the last couple of years. But until you start finishing games, until you start getting those wins, you're not going to earn that respect.
Yeah.
Throwing, got a man caught at the goal line. It's a touchdown. 30, 25, 20. He's gonna go 5 touchdowns. Pass for Schultz again. Looking long down the field, looking for Drez Anderson. He's got it. Launches deep down the sideline. Drez Anderson, touchdown.
Check this out, Drez Anderson.
2 touchdowns last week, brings it 10-5, touchdown, Utah!